Hi, my name is Anna Flores, and I took the Ocean personality test. So, Ocean stands for openness, conscientiousness, agreeableness, extroversion, and neuroticism. So, openness, in my own words, would just be someone who's more willing to try things out, someone who's curious, someone who likes to explore. Conscientiousness is someone who is much more attention to detail. In some cases, this can be OCD, very much structure, organization. Agreeableness just means someone who can sacrifice what they want just to please another person, someone who's empathetic, someone who's kind, um, like much more cooperative. Extroversion is just someone who is comfortable around people, who gets their social battery fueled by people. And neuroticism is someone who either has very high highs or very low lows, so very intense emotions. Um, for extroversion, I scored a 29 out of 40. Agreeableness, I scored a 38 out of 40. Conscientiousness, I scored a 22 out of 40. Neuroticism, I scored a 30 out of 40. And openness, I scored a 25 out of 40. So overall, I'd say I'm kind of like half and half with the results. I agree with some of it, I don't agree with some of it. So that's how I feel. Um, to go through them, a little bit. So for extroversion, 29 out of 40, I'm not really shocked with this one. I do agree with this one. I did think the score was going to be higher. I have been working in customer service for a year, like I believe 4 years. So I'm definitely used to talking to people, and I would consider myself more of an extrovert. I really enjoy talking to people, and knowing this also helps me in terms of like what career paths I want to get into. I don't know specifically what I want my career to be yet, but I have a sense of direction in terms of I don't want to be working in a cubicle. I don't want to be in an office job. I don't want to be behind a computer all day. That's just not my vibe. I definitely need a job that has to do with interacting with people. And for agreeableness, I got a 38 out of 40. That honestly makes a lot of sense. I am very empathetic. I would consider myself a more friendly person, someone who's cooperative and caring. Um, it also means that I can be susceptible and can sometimes let other people make my decisions. I can be indecisive at times, and I'll just let someone else make my decision for me, and I'll just go with it. So yeah, that can be a downside of it. But it's good to know that I am more empathetic, because it can also help me in terms of my career path and what like direction to go towards. For conscientiousness, I scored pretty low. This was the lowest one I scored out of all of them. I got a 22 out of 40. This is not a shocker. I was kind of expecting this. When you score low on this, it does mean that you are more likely to procrastinate or have bad time management skills, and that is me. I am working on it, but I do kind of have bad time management skills. I'm actually gonna get fired from my job because I'm late, so that is something that I do have to work on. But yeah, I'm not shocked that I scored pretty low on that one. And for neuroticism, I scored a 30 out of 40. I am pretty shocked on this one. I did used to deal with anxiety and depression, but I have been going to therapy for 3 years now, and I definitely feel like I'm at a much better headspace. So this was a shocker. I do feel like I can be emotionally stable and approach situations in an emotionally mature way. So I did think that was kind of weird. And for openness, I got a 25 out of 40. I don't agree with that one. I do believe I'm more of an open person. I'm much into like exploring, and I'm very curious, and like lately this has been like more of my vibe. I will say like 5 years ago I wasn't willing to try new things out. I liked my way and my way only, but now I'm much more like into experiencing new things. So maybe that's why it wasn't as high as I anticipated. Maybe in a few years the number will be a little bit higher. So yeah, I've explained how some of these can help me with my career path and what direction to go into and narrow down the variety of choices that I have. And in terms of relationships, this can also help me just because one example I can think of is openness. Like I said, I consider myself a more open person. I did go like on a few dates with this one guy, and he was just like, I remember asking him if he would try Nigerian food, and he was just very like no to the idea, and he had like the biggest like disgust look in his face, and I just did not like that. And so I just know like who am I gonna get along with, who am I not gonna get along with, because obviously like I want someone that I can like try new things out with. So that was definitely not a good thing for me. And so yeah. But yeah, so it definitely knowing this can definitely help me narrow down my decisions in terms of career and relationships. Thank you.